Hello everyone, my name is Nick and I'm a Client Success Manager at Readz. Before we get started, I want to thank you all for giving Readz a try. Readz, as you will know, is a platform for creating interactive campaigns and websites, but it's quite different from the other existing tools you might be familiar with, like WordPress or Squarespace. We created Readz with one goal in mind, and that was to give anyone the ability to create the website they've always wanted without using rigid templates or having to code. What we came up with was a dynamic tool that goes beyond the limits of what other platforms can do. I bet you're ready to see it in action, so let's get to it. In this short demo, I'll show you how easy it is to create interactive campaigns, websites, and other types of content using Readz. Without further ado, let's log in. After logging into Readz, the first thing you'll see is the dashboard. The dashboard gives you easy access to all the sites you're working on and the ones you've already published. We have organized the dashboard so that you can see all the projects per domain or URL. This is convenient if you have multiple projects under the same website domain, including projects like landing pages, guides, magazines, or campaigns. The dashboard is also the place where you can add new projects to your domain, view analytics, look at data or leads gathered through the forms on your sites, or set preferences such as a connection to your Google Analytics or ad roll retargeting. You can find out more about these features by going to our how-to guide. You can access it by clicking the link in the top here. Now that I've shown you the dashboard, let's start creating some content. To open the editor, just click on a project. This is your canvas where you will design your projects. On the left, you have an overview of the different pages in your project. And you also have a page menu which houses all of the tools you need to edit your canvas. A unique thing about Readz is that you're not limited by templates or restricted to only making very small content updates that risk breaking the layout of your web page. With Readz, you have complete control over every element of your website, all without coding. Let me show you what I mean. Here we have a version of the Readz website. Let's say this is your website and you want to do some quick spot edits on the page. Scrolling through the page, you see that some of the text is not in the correct font. To fix this, simply click on the text box. You will see that the menu automatically changes to show you the options you have for editing text boxes. Through the menu, you can edit all aspects of that text box, such as font, line spacing, alignment, shadows, etc. It's important to note that when you select the text box, any edits you make will apply to all of the text in the box. If you prefer just to edit a word or two, highlight the desired text before making any changes. But let's get back to correcting the font. When you have the text box selected, select the Font Styles menu. It has the T icon. Under the font section, you'll see a drop-down list of the many different font families. Select the correct font and you're good to go. Readz comes preloaded with fonts, but you can also upload your custom font from Typekit or Google Fonts. See our how-to guide for more info on that. Now that you've learned how to edit a text box, you can use the same process for editing any other type of element. Every single time you select an element, the menu will adapt itself to give you the available editing options for that type of element. Okay, let's do something else. As I look at my canvas, I notice that one of the headers is pretty close, actually too close to the image above. So let's create some more space there. To create more space between the header and the image, select the image that you want to move down. Notice the half circle-shaped handles at the top and bottom of the element? These allow you to quickly move the element and shift everything above or below it in one go. Just grab the top handlebar in the image and drag it down. Notice how when I move the image, all the elements below it also shift down, maintaining space perfectly. Simple as that. Now let's say you want to replace this image with a new one. To do that, double-click the element and you'll be prompted to upload the image file of your choosing. You can then adjust the image size by dragging one of the corners. As you can see, it's really easy and fast to make spot edits to your content. In the second part of our demo, we will show you how to create content from scratch. Let's create a new project. When you create a new project, you always have a choice. You can start from an existing example, start from scratch, or get some design and building assistance from Readz and its partners. Before we continue, I would like to add that you can request us to jump in and offer some assistance with design or help at any time during the creation process. Our teams and partners have built complete bespoke projects for clients. Check out more on the examples portion of Readz.com. If you just want a quick review or help sketching out the layout, do reach out whenever you're blocked or need someone else to bounce ideas off of. We're here to help you. For now, we're going to create a project from scratch. Before starting from scratch, we would recommend that you have a plan for how you'd like your layout to look. This could be something really detailed like a mock-up or a simple sketch. As long as you have a general idea of how you want your page to look and what elements you want to use, it makes creating your site much easier. Let's say you want to create a simple website homepage. Before starting, you might draw up a simple sketch, like this. Once you have that done, you can start building in Readz by adding a title. To do this, select the plus sign on the page menu, and then click Text. You'll notice some options for pre-formatted text. You can choose any of them, or select text box to start with the most basic one. In this case, select Headline and drag and drop it onto the page. You'll notice that it comes pre-styled in a large font, but you can customize it to make it your own. To edit the text, double-click and type or paste in your text. You can then style the text by clicking on it and seeing the available editing options, like I showed you how to do earlier. Again, unlike using restrictive templates, Readz allows you to truly customize the elements on your page any way you want. You might want to center align the text or change the font and color. These can be done in seconds. Next, you can add a subtitle to go below the title. Again, you can do this by using the subheader pre-styled text box and dragging it onto the canvas. As you drag it to the desired position, you'll notice the purple and green lines that appear. These are called smart guides, and they make it super easy for you to line up your elements. To line it up perfectly below the title, release once you see the 3 purple lines appear at the top points of the subheader text box. Next, you can add your logo using the image element, following the same process. Select the plus sign, choose Media, and then drag and drop an image element onto the page. You can upload your logo by clicking on the element, and you can change the size by dragging the corners. Then you'll want to add a nice large image to the page that catches the reader's attention. Drag the edges so that it goes full width. You might notice that the image doesn't fill up the whole size of the element. This has to do with the scaling set on the image. You can adjust the image scaling by selecting it and choosing one of the options in the drop-down menu under Scaling. You can choose Fit Width for the image to take up the full width of the element. The home page is really coming along great. To add some interactive touches, let's add some social sharing icons. We've made this super easy for you by offering pre-made sharing icons ready for you to use. When you click the plus sign, you'll notice the Sharing menu. This section houses all of the social sharing buttons, including Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Just drag and drop the icons of your choosing onto the page. The best part is these icons are pre-configured, so when a reader clicks on it, it will prompt them to share your site on their social networks. This is all done for you, and there's nothing you need to set up. If you want to move all of them into position together, you can drag to select all of them and move them into your desired spot. To ensure that they all line up perfectly, you can set them to the same point on the y-axis. To see this, select one of the icons and select the Layout menu. Under the Alignment section, you'll see its position along the X and Y axis. Input the same Y-axis number for all of the icons, and they'll all start at the same point. Now that you've made some good edits, it's time to save. We recommend saving often, especially when you're new to the editor, so that you don't lose any progress. You can do that by going to the upper left corner and hitting Save. Next, you'll want to see how it looks in the preview link. Using the preview link lets you see how your page looks in the actual browser. When you click Preview, you can click the link to view it on desktop. To see how your page will look for different screen sizes, try adjusting the size of your browser. This will help you decide if there's anything about your layout you'd like to change. Just so you know, the preview link will only show you everything that you've saved so far. If your preview link doesn't show your most recent changes, you might need to save or reload your preview link. When it looks good on the preview link, you're ready to keep moving. Now that you have the basis for your home page set on desktop, you can start looking at how it will look on other devices, phone and tablet. You'll notice that the top of your page shows you which device you're viewing. We've been viewing the desktop version up until now, but to select another device, you can choose from the drop-down menu. We'll select mobile to see how it looks. The Readz editor makes designing for all devices easy by automatically copying what you did on one device to all three. This saves you so much time when creating your site. When you look at mobile, you'll notice that all of the elements you created are on the canvas. For the most part, the layout looks pretty good, but you'll want to make a few adjustments to make the layout look best for phone. We'll start by making the title a bit wider and reducing the font size. When you go to reduce the font, notice how the styling version is set to phone. This means that any edits you make will only apply to phone and not affect the other devices. If you want to make a change that does affect all three, select all devices. You might also want to reduce the space between the title and subheader, and then make the logo a bit larger. You can also increase the spacing between the social icons. When you're done, be sure to save and check your preview link. To view the mobile layout, you'll need to open the preview link on your smartphone device. To make it easy for you, you can choose to email it to yourself or use the QR code. If it looks good on mobile, you're good to go. You can edit the tablet version in the same way. Just select it in the drop-down menu. Just like with mobile and desktop, to check your work on the tablet, just open the preview link on your tablet device. Well, now you know the basics for getting started in Readz. As you can see, Readz gives you complete freedom to design your web pages however you want. You can place your elements anywhere on the page, and you aren't confined to containers or templates. To recap, you can add any element by clicking the plus sign and dragging and dropping the desired element onto the page. Each time you select an element, the page menu adapts to show you the available editing options. Once you're done editing, always remember to save, and check your preview link on all devices. Well, thank you all for joining this Readz webinar. You now have everything you need to get started creating your dream project. Click the link to log in or create your new account. If you need any help along the way, be sure to check our how-to guide or send us a message. Thanks, and have a great rest of your day.